And so The Rock went on a juice cleanse, lost about 50 pounds of muscle. And we're not talking about orange juice, we're talking about steroids.
Does The Rock say he's clean?
He has implied it pretty heavily, but he also doesn't end up in scenarios where he gets asked point blank, whereas Liver King goes out of his way to fucking lean into it and use it as like a marketing spiel.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the people's champion, the man who built an entire brand on being the biggest, the strongest, the most unstoppable force in Hollywood. But now, fans can't help but notice something shocking. The muscles that defined him for decades are melting away. For years, people whispered about steroids, accusing him of building his legendary body with more than just chicken and rice. And every time, Johnson kept quiet. He never had to deny it because nobody ever forced him to. Even Joe Rogan pointed this out. The Rock has never actually been cornered into answering the question. He just smiles, dodges, and the mystery lingers. But with his drastic weight loss, that silence has become deafening. Fans aren't just asking if he was ever on the juice. They're asking if this is the proof he finally came off it. And when the body that built your career starts to shrink, so does the image. That's when all the other cracks begin to show. Because the truth is, behind the smile, behind the motivational Instagram posts, and behind the endless branding, The Rock has been surrounded by rumors for years. Stories that paint him not as the lovable superstar he wants you to see, but as one of the fakest men in Hollywood. Let's start with the whispers from his wrestling days. Back then, Johnson was known for being charming on camera, but ruthless behind the scenes. Insiders have said he'd cut people off the second they became a liability to his image. Friendship, loyalty, teamwork. Those only lasted until protecting them got in the way of protecting himself. The moment someone's baggage could become his baggage, they were gone. And it didn't stop in wrestling. Hollywood insiders tell the same story.
Must be crazy to piss off The Rock.
Oh, you pissed off The Rock?
Come on, bro.
No, what happened, man?
I wanted to be like Dwayne. One day I met Dwayne, made content together, went mega viral, 70 million views, 50 million views. I would have considered us acquaintances. And then, And then Japan happened. I had to really rewire my brain and backtrack and ask myself like how I let that happen. And in that process, I did a lot of damage. DJ was one of the people I hurt, so much so that he basically wanted nothing to do with me. He requested that I remove all the content we've ever done together, and man, it just stunk so bad. And it wasn't like I got the call from him. Got it from the publicist.
Johnson is friendly when the cameras are rolling, but calculated when they're not. For years, he's cultivated this brand of being for the people, the people's champion, the guy you can trust. But to those who've been close to him, that charm is just another performance. Then there's the infamous contract rumor, the one that says Dwayne Johnson makes sure in writing that he can't lose a fight in his movies. Think about how insane that is. Movies are built on struggle, on the hero facing defeat, even humiliation, before rising to victory. But Johnson allegedly doesn't allow that. No losses, no humiliations, no moments of weakness, only wins, only dominance. Only The Rock looking like the biggest, baddest guy in the room. If that's true, it's not just ego, it's an obsession with control. And control has always been at the center of his story. Johnson's entire empire is built on image. The Rock isn't just a man, he's a brand. The biggest star in wrestling, the highest paid actor in Hollywood, the family man with tequila, energy drinks, and a motivational empire. But what happens when the brand starts to crack? When the carefully built illusion no longer holds up?
The Rock should come clean right now. He should make a video in response to the Liver King video. I need to talk to you because The Rock's been lying.
Yeah. No, yeah,
There's not a fucking chance in hell he's clean.
No.
Not a chance in hell. As big as The Rock is, at 50,
We've already seen glimpses of that illusion breaking. Remember the Fast and Furious drama? Johnson clashed with Vin Diesel and Tyrese Gibson so badly that he refused to even film scenes with Diesel. He went on Instagram calling out his castmates as candy asses, throwing gasoline on a feud that nearly tore the franchise apart. For fans, it was entertaining. For insiders, it was ego. Johnson wasn't just part of the Fast and Furious family, he wanted to run it. He wanted to dominate the franchise so badly that Universal built him his own spin-off, and even that created resentment. The Rock couldn't play second fiddle, not in wrestling, not in Hollywood, not anywhere. But here's the thing about always being on top. It makes you enemies. Behind the scenes, other actors started seeing Johnson as a control freak, someone who cared more about being the hero than telling a good story, someone who couldn't handle looking vulnerable. And then there's the political tease. For years, Johnson has hinted at running for president. He talks about how fans want him in office, how people see him as a leader, but he never actually commits. Because he knows what would happen. In politics, you can't hide behind a Hollywood script. You can't protect your image with contracts and PR teams. Every rumor, every questionable choice, every skeleton in the closet gets dragged into the light. And for a man obsessed with control, that would be the ultimate nightmare. Instead, Johnson focuses on his businesses: Terramana Tequila, ZOA energy drinks, Project Rock workout gear. On the surface, it's all positivity, hustle, family, motivation. But dig deeper, and the hypocrisy shows. The same guy who sells himself as the face of health and discipline is pushing alcohol and caffeine-packed energy drinks. The same guy who preaches authenticity has built one of the most tightly manufactured brands in entertainment. It's all about selling himself, selling the Rock lifestyle. And the fans are starting to notice. Even his own peers are catching on. In wrestling, there's a saying, never trust the smile, and Johnson's smile might be the biggest example of that. Former colleagues have described him as two-faced, someone who plays humble in public, but is ruthless in private. And when your body starts to fade, when your brand starts to crack, those old stories start to carry more weight. Think about it. If Johnson really did build his image on more than just hard work and chicken breasts, then the drastic weight loss tells a story he never wanted told. If he really does have contracts that forbid him from losing, then the ego is bigger than anyone imagined. If he really has been cutting people off his entire career, then maybe The Rock isn't the people's champion at all. Maybe he's just his own. The truth is, every empire falls. And The Rock's empire was built on being untouchable. The biggest, the strongest, the cleanest-cut star in the world. But muscle fades, image cracks, and when the shield finally breaks, what's left underneath? Dwayne Johnson has spent decades controlling every frame of his story, but the downfall of The Rock might be the one thing he can't control.
There's a responsibility that you have to people that are listening to you. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you do talk about it, there's a responsibility that you have to people that are listening to you. And I think you have to be honest.